is we pinned where we want our seam to be, and this is nice and straight. If for all you folks a little bit unsure of yourself, you can pin more if you like. Okay, but also just a quick little sewing lesson. Make sure that your thread is properly going from the left to the right, like so. I really try to set up where the threads are in the back going like this. You don't want to get clogged up. See how it came back forward? That's good. So push it back. I'm going to put this, my foot is up. Watch, my foot is up. I'm going to put my foot down. And I'm used to, even though I have a nice Juki machine that doesn't need usually the needle planted like that, because I'm used to the singers. But it starts you off right, I think, really. It could get tangled, and just getting started properly is a good idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit. I have this set on 3. I'm just going to do a little tighter, and then I'm going to go backwards a little bit. Just get a back stitch just to start myself off nice. I got a nice stitch, okay? And then I'm pulling the fabric tight. I'm a 1/2 inch, right? And I'm going to take my pins out as I go. Hopefully I don't run out of a bobbin. I'm always checking for my bobbin, because the worst thing is to do a long piece like this and realize you've been doing it without a bobbin. Don't get mad. Oh, now see, something just happened. My thread just broke, which is interesting. Okay, so my thread broke, so I'm going to go back again just to make sure that I have a good stitch. For some reason the thread broke. I lifted the foot, I'm going to plant the needle, and I'm going to stop. Okay, and then we've got a good transition now. I actually changed the thread too. I didn't like the white thread, so I went to a green thread that matches one of the colors in the deck. You have to be careful of that too. So you see the white. Not that if you have a good machine, people don't realize, if you have a really good machine, unless you're top stitching, it shouldn't matter because you have a tight enough stitch. Okay, but I just changed it out. I just thought it would look better. So I'm coming to this white stitch that you see here. I'm coming to the left of it a little bit. Now I'm back to where I stopped, where the thread broke there. And I'm going to take out the pin as I go along. And what we're going to do with any stitch that we do, we check it out to see how it looks before we apply it, right? Try to get this as straight as you can. And like I said, for you beginners, if you want to pin it up a little bit more than I did, that's fine. You know, it depends on the fabric too. You know, some fabrics you have to be a little bit more careful about. Take that out. Okay, then when I get to the end here, I'm going to do a little back stitch to close it. My needle's up, my foot's going to come up. I'm going to release the fabric from the bottom, and usually if you have to make sure that it's up in a position where you can pull it, because sometimes you pull it and the thread breaks and then you have to just rethread your machine. So I'm going to cut both threads, and now I'm going to, just while you're here, let's check our seam to see what it looks like. Before we don't have to get up. Look at how tight that is, and look at how straight the stripe is. Even though we're not lining up the stripe really, because I don't see with the tufted back that it's going to make a difference too. See how nice and tight that is. So I'm happy with that stitch. So now let's go apply this to the piece of furniture.